Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Back in May, when the Tigers were playing at their peak, they walked into Fenway Park and they swept the Red Sox, scoring 13 runs and allowed only 3 in the 3-game sweep at Fenway Park. Hopefully, more of the same here at Comerica Park. We welcome you to downtown Detroit. Game 1 in this series featuring the Detroit Tigers and the visiting Boston Red Sox. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pep alongside Rod Allen. Glad to have you with us here tonight for Game 1 in what should be an entertaining weekend series. And hopefully, Rod, the Tigers play in this series like they did in Boston.
Well, they were clicking on all cylinders when they went in and swept the Boston Red Sox in very hostile environment. The pitching was outstanding. Starters and the relievers had woken up. The offense was perking at a very high level, and they were playing well defensively. Let's hope they can remember how they did that.
All right, now for both of these teams to play well, they need some big performances out of some big-time performers. Cabrera, Martinez for the Tigers, and, of course, Big Papi for the Red Sox.
Well, these guys are worth the price of admission. Miguel and also Victor, they have been slowed down a little bit in the month of June, but in the month of May, they were absolutely dangerous. Mickey was spraying the ball all around the ballpark, driving in runs and bunching, and also finding the seats occasionally. Victor Martinez, from both sides of the plate, he was slashing, hitting 300. Victor has tremendous hand-eye coordination and has done very well here at Comerica Park. Speaking of doing well at Comerica Park, David Ortiz, 18 career homers at Comerica Park in just 49 games. So Big Papi, he loves hitting in this ballpark as well. Drew Smiley, good numbers against left-handers. He'll have to neutralize him.
Should be a fun 3 days. Game 1 in this series coming up after a short break. We'll send you back to the Coliseum Studios. Check in with Trevor Thompson. It is a Friday night fireworks night here at the ballpark. Tigers, Red Sox, coming up next. Welcoming in the Boston Red Sox. Game one in this three-game weekend series here at the ballpark. We'll check out the starting lineup for the Red Sox tonight, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. It'll be Brock Holt leading it off, playing first base. Xander Bogaerts at third. Dustin Pedroia at second base. Dave Ortiz. Big numbers from Big Papi here at the ballpark with Comerica. Johnny Gomes, A.J. Przinsky, followed by Sizemore, Herrera, and Jackie Bradley Jr. That is the lineup that will be facing Drew Smyly here tonight. He is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Smyly only pitched 4 innings his last time out against the Seattle Mariners, and he threw 105 pitches in that contest. He only gave up 3 runs in that game, but he'll need to be a lot more efficient here today. Pitch deeper in this game if he's going to give his team a chance of beating the Boston Red Sox tonight.
Two teams that have struggled of late. We'll see what happens in this series beginning tonight. And the first pitch of this evening's ball game is a strike called on Brock Holt.
Usually left-handers get the night off when going up against Drew Smyly. That's just how good he is against left-handers. But take a look at the numbers that Holt has against lefties. 386 batting average.
Awfully good, and he is leading off for the Red Sox. He fouls that one back. Holt is playing at first base tonight in that leadoff position.
Holt arguably coming off his best day as a pro on Sunday against Tampa. He had 4 doubles in that game.
Meanwhile, Smyly limits lefties to just $130 this year.
Yeah, they usually get a night off.
Here's the 0-2, and it's looped back up the middle into center. How about that? Leadoff single on an 0-2 pitch for Brock Holt.
I guess the numbers on Holt were no joke. Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense presented by Beaumont Health System. In the outfield is pretty much how they line up on most nights. Davis, Jackson, and Hunter. Ian Kinsler, 1 error and 996 fielding percentage this year, 3rd in the major leagues. Castellanos, Romine, and Miggy also in the infield with Ian. And Alex Avila is back behind the plate once again tonight.
Here is Xander Bogaerts batting in the 2 slot tonight for the Red Sox. 297 in the year for Bogaerts. And he looks at strike 1 in the inside part of the plate.
Bogaerts playing third base these days. When we were at Boston earlier this season, he was their everyday shortstop.
Stephen Drew has been acquired by the Boston Red Sox, signed by the Red Sox, I should say. And they've got Herrera playing short in this game here tonight. Swing and a miss.
Good pitch right there. That's something that Jeff Jones has encouraged Smyly into doing a lot more of, and that's throwing off-speed pitches in fastball counts. Nice breaking ball there.
So Avila on the backswing is nicked early in this game. Bogaerts stepping back in the box. Had a couple of home runs in their recently completed series in Cleveland, which the Indians swept Boston. Brock Holt chased back. He has 3 steals this year. 3 for 3 as a matter of fact. Dustin Pedroia waiting in the on-deck circle for the Red Sox. Here's the 0-2. High fly ball, left center field, hit well. Rajay going back, so is Jackson. They both look up, and that ball is up against the wall. Holt coming around third. They're going to send him home, and he will score. It's a double and an RBI for Xander Bogaerts. And 2 batters into this game. The Red Sox have a 1-0 lead. It'll be the 17th double of the year for Bogaerts.
And not a very good 0-2 pitch here by Smyly. It's something that's up over the plate, not thrown very aggressively. And Xander Bogaerts looked like he was going to hit a home run here, but settles for a double.
Here's how close it came. Right off the top of the fence, or near the top. 2-base hit and an RBI. 1-0 Boston, and that'll bring up Dustin Pedroia. Showing bunt, looks at a strike on the outer edge. Pedroia with a couple of homers this year, and only 2 for 11 in that series the first time they met.
Dustin Pedroia, a really good baseball player, knows the situation. Runner on second, nobody out. He'll be trying to advance Bogaerts over to third base, possibly driving in by hitting something to the right side of the field.
3rd straight batter now that has gone 0-2. The Bernstein advantage brings you the matchup. Dustin Pedroia against the Tigers, and the rest of Major League Baseball against the Tigers. 226 against the rest of the MLB, 304. So the Tigers have done good work against Pedroia.
Tigers always have outstanding pitching.
Now Smiley's 0-2. Popped him up. Foul ground, first base side. Cabrera drifting, and Pedroia is the first out of the ball game. So he tried to move him up, but he popped it straight up to the right side. We'll bring up Big Papi now. David Ortiz. .262 this year for Ortiz. He's done some pretty good damage over the years versus Tigers pitching, but you could probably say that against most staffs.
He has hit 18 home runs right here at Comerica Park in 49 games, which ties Paul Konerko. But Konerko has played 115 games in this ballpark.
Big Papi will make most ballparks, including this one, look very small. Ortiz so far this year, 33 RBIs. Here are those career numbers at Comerica. .311 batting average to go with the 18 homers. Now the 1-0. Slow roller off the end of the bat. Castellanos on the charge. Has plenty of time with Ortiz running. Two gone now, and time for the field conditions tonight, presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. How about this? 77 degrees at game time.
Beautiful day today.
It's dry, it's clear, and no threat of rain. That's the good news. Two gone now with a man at third, and Johnny Gomes will stand in. Gomes batting in the 5 slot in this one here tonight. He's playing out in left field, batting .230. Red Sox looking for the 2-out hit for their second run of the game. And Gomes looks at a strike. The veteran outfielder has 5 home runs this year for Boston. He has been with 4 different teams in the last 5 years. Now the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Gomes, good power. 13 homers last year, 18 the year before that with the Oakland Athletics. Just swing and a miss. 1-2 the count on Johnny Gomes. And Smiley at least has not had any trouble getting ahead of Boston hitters so far. He has thrown mostly strikes. 12 of the 14 pitches he's thrown are strikes. And the 1-2. Got him. Strike 3. Gomes caught looking. First strikeout of the ball game for Drew Smiley. Minimal damage done. We go to the bottom of the first. 1-0 Boston. Two teams that squared off in the ALCS last year. They've met 3 times already this year, with the Tigers winning all 3 at Fenway Park. And now the Tigers come to the plate here in the bottom of the first inning. Ian Kinsler will start things off for the Tigers, facing Ruby De La Rosa, and he throws a strike to start things off here in the home half of the first. Kinsler is batting .301 with 5 home runs this year. De La Rosa's .01 is hit on the ground to second. Down to a knee, Pedroia. 1 gone. Here are the particulars on Ruby De La Rosa.
De La Rosa will be looking at a lot of hitters that he's never seen before at this level. The one start he made this year, he was outstanding. Only gave up 4 hits, and he struck out 8 Rays. He's got a fastball that will go from 93 all the way to 97. He's got a slurve/slider curveball, but he's got a well above average changeup.
Torrey Hunter looks at a strike. The only guy in the Tiger roster right now that has seen De La Rosa in a big league game is Brian Holiday, and he's not playing. Hunter batting .260. Ball outside, 1-1 the count. Torrey trying to snap an 0 for 11. Was not a good series against the Blue Jays for him, and for the team, for that matter. It's fouled back out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We got a good glimpse of what the Blue Jays were all about the last 3 days, and they're awfully good.
They're for real.
That guy's pretty good, too, waiting on deck. Miguel Cabrera. Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball to short. Flattens out there for Herrera. Throw is high, but in time. Here's the rest of the Tigers starting lineup tonight, presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. You saw Kinsler and Hunter. Cabrera about to come up. Martinez, Avila, Jackson in the middle of the lineup. Then Castellanos, Romine, and Davis. Couple of ground ball outs as Cabrera digs into the box now with nobody aboard. Miggy was 1 for 11 in the Toronto series. They really did a nice job of neutralizing it. He hammers one to center field deep. Jackie Bradley Jr. going back, and he makes the catch in right center. Gave it a ride, not deep enough. Tigers go 1-2-3. On this one, 1-0. We go to the top of the second. Our predictions for today's Fox Sports Detroit Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's Frozen Strawberry Lemonade. I'm going with Victor today, Ryan.
I'm going with the Tigers starting pitcher today, Drew Smiley.
And SEMO, Craig Monroe checking in with Austin Jackson. That is his selection. Here's A.J. Pierzynski to lead it off for the Red Sox. It'll be Pierzynski, Sizemore, and then Herrera. 1-0 Red Sox lead on the RBI double by Xander Bogaerts. Smiley working quickly in a wave and a miss, 0-2. Drew in that first inning threw 15 pitches, 13 strikes. And he's already 0-2 now. On Pierzynski. Missed inside, 1-2.
There's obviously a conscious effort by Smiley here this evening to go a little bit deeper in this game with 100 pitches. In his last outing against Seattle, he threw a total of 105 pitches in just 4 innings. 2 starts ago, 107 pitches in just 5 innings. So for whatever reason, Smiley hasn't been attacking the strike zone the way that we're accustomed to Smiley attacking the strike zone like he did last year in the bullpen and the previous year in the starting rotation.
Here's the 2-2. Now it's gone from 0-2 to 3-2. Well, when you get to the 5th and you've already thrown 100 or more, you know it's been kind of a laborious first 5 innings. You would certainly rather be in the 6th or 7th with those numbers. Smiley ready with the 3-2. Lifted in the air. Shortstop side, Romine. To the grass, and 1 gone. Oh, old school right there, keeping score on the scorecard that he bought at the stadium. I love fans that keep score. I used to do it when I was a kid. Of course, I gave up around the 4th or 5th inning because I lost interest, but I started at least to try.
A lot of times you'll see fans in the stands that are keeping score. They also have headphones on there listening to the radio broadcast as well to make sure they get all the calls right.
Here's Grady Sizemore. And he looks at ball 1 outside. Sizemore at 221 just has not been able to catch fire this year. Of course, he missed a couple of seasons with knee problems, back problems.
In that 3-game series at Boston, the Tigers played against the Red Sox. He was grounding out to the right side of the infield with regularity. I mean, every single ball he put in play was a ground ball to either the first baseman or the second baseman.
Here's the 2-0. Ooh, he drives that one down the right field line. Got a hook dog. 2-1 the count on Sizemore. Only 3 hits to the left side.
Well, you can see there's validation of the point I just made.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. You know, we saw here in Detroit that Victor Martinez missed an entire year, and it took him about half a season to get going last year. I can't imagine what it's like to come back after 2 years off.
Yeah, Victor's a DH, so he's not running around as much as Sizemore is. Sizemore plays the outfield.
3-1 pitch missed, and that'll be a 1-out walk. Smiley thought it was perhaps a strike. Didn't get the call from Bill Miller. Here's Jonathan Herrera. Playing shortstop tonight for the Red Sox, batting .231. Boston got a run in the first on a single by Holt and a double by Xander Bogaerts. Sizemore is 5 for 5 in stolen base attempts this year. Back in the day when he was healthy with the Cleveland Indians, when he came up, he was good for 20, 30 stolen bases a year, nearly 40 stolen bases a year. He's on with 1 out here in the second. Herrera looks at a strike on the outer edge. Herrera is a former Rocky, was acquired this past offseason by the Red Sox. 5 seasons with Colorado over in the National League. Ground ball to third. Castellanos fires to second. There's one. Relay. Not in time. Herrera beats the relay throw.
I thought this was a tailor-made double play. Hit rather sharply. Castellanos, he got the ball to Ian Kinsler, but Grady Sizemore right on top of Ian Kinsler, and that allowed Herrera to beat it.
Tigers may want to look at this. I know Brad is waiting right now to see what the verdict is on their video, and it looks like he's not going to challenge here. He was at the top step of the dugout.
And apparently, Herrera's got some outstanding speed to beat that out.
So with 2 outs, here is Jackie Bradley Jr. Ball 1 to Bradley. Jackie batting .203. He has knocked in 20 runs this year.
Yeah, the batting average is quite low, but he's hitting nearly 300 with runners in scoring position.
Well, they had Jacoby Ellsbury here last year, and with Bradley out there in center field, they've lost nothing defensively.
Nothing.
And in some instances have gained defensively. But offensively, Ellsbury, a fantastic player. 1 ball, 1 strike. Red Sox got a run in the first. They have a man on here in the second with 2 outs. Waited back on the breaking ball, slapped it back out of play, 1-2. Top of the order waiting on deck, Brock Holt. Well, they got him picked off. There's the tag down at second for the out. Will go down as a caught stealing for Herrera. Inning is over, no runs, a walk, nobody left. Tigers and Red Sox hooking up here in game 1. Right now it's 1-0 Boston.
Red Sox season-long .996 fielding percentage. He's also won a few Gold Gloves. He's outstanding at the second base position.
Ruby De La Rosa goes back to work. He got the Tigers 1-2-3 in the first. And on the first pitch, Martinez slams it in the air to left center field. It's going to be run down, though, by Jackie Bradley Jr.
Apparently, the scouting report on De La Rosa is he's going to throw you that fastball about 92 to 95 on the first pitch. Therefore, the Tigers swinging very aggressively early.
Well, here is Avila, who is batting in the 5 spot in this ball game. Tigers have had several guys run through that 5 position, and Brad Austin was saying before the game today he is hopeful that someone is just going to grab that 5 spot and keep it. Avila getting a shot today. Facing the right-hander, Ruby De La Rosa. Avila looks at ball 1 outside.
And De La Rosa from Dominican Republic, his grandmother used to serve as a nanny for Pedro Martinez and his brother Ramon Martinez, and he credits Pedro Martinez for showing him that outstanding changeup that he now features.
It's a good nugget. Where'd you get that nanny nugget?
I read that in his bio.
Is that right?
I did.
Apparently I missed it. 2-0 the count on Ruby De La Rosa. I mean, you do all this prep work and you miss a golden nugget like that. That's not good. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and it's in for a strike. 2-1.
We're starting to see, and it's not that the American-born players don't have good changeups, but guys in Dominican Republic, I mean, you go back to Juan Marichal, Mario Soto, Pascual Perez had a great changeup, Pedro Martinez, Fernando Rodney. This kid has a plus changeup. It must be something they look at a lot there. There's that changeup right there. About 86 miles an hour. It's a hard changeup. Just comes off the fingertips very nicely.
3-1 on Avila. Shoots that one the other way, foul, back out of play. Full count. The shift is on against Alex.
And De La Rosa also didn't play a lot of baseball growing up. I mean, that's not the norm for the Dominican kids that get a chance to come stateside. They start playing baseball when they're about 4 or 5 years old, but he did not play a lot of baseball growing up. He played a game that they call cricket.
There's a swing and a miss, and Avila goes down. Well, De La Rosa was great in his first start, and so far so good here in his second start this year.
Well, usually the pitcher has an advantage when the hitters have not seen him. You can watch him on video all night long, but until you get out there 60 feet 6 inches from the pitcher, you don't really get a true read on the action on his pitches.
2 up, 2 down. Here is Austin Jackson. De La Rosa was part of that trade, that huge blockbuster that sent Josh Beckett, Carl Crawford, Adrian Gonzalez to the Dodgers. And Ruby came back the other way from L.A. Bender missing high that time. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's his third best pitch. It's not a very good pitch. He will not throw that pitch when runners are in scoring position. That was a slider. De La Rosa had Tommy John surgery a few years ago, the same year that he came to the Boston Red Sox in that deal from the Dodgers. He was hurt, and they still wanted to acquire him because they knew how talented this kid was.
Well, they had some choices on who to bring up when Buchholz went on the disabled list. They decided on De La Rosa because John Farrell said, quite honestly, he was pitching the best down at Pawtucket. And so he got the opportunity, and he's pitching well up here. In for a strike, 2-2.
Not afraid to throw that changeup to the right-handed batter either.
Nick Castellanos waiting on deck. Outside now, 3-2 on Austin Jackson. Five up, 5 down so far against De La Rosa. Tigers looking for their first base runner of the night. And now the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Jackson goes down, and the Tigers again go 1-2-3. Second strikeout for Ruby De La Rosa as the Tigers and Red Sox get together here this weekend. The first of 3 at the ballpark. Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire. able to get anything going offensively, and right now we send it back down to Justin White for an update on our shortstop situation.
Yeah, Mario, yesterday it was looking like the Tigers may be a little short at shortstop. Eugenio Suarez, the rookie, who banged up his knee in the game on Wednesday night, is starting to feel better. Brad Ausmus said he was able to get on the elliptical today, but he still needs that lateral movement to get up to speed. Ausmus saying that Suarez is now hour to hour instead of day to day. Meanwhile, Andrew Romine, whose shoulder popped out in that same game on Wednesday night, actually showed up to the ballpark yesterday. Didn't know if he was going to be able to go, but when he saw Suarez hobbling around the clubhouse, he knew he had to gut it out, and he did just that. Romine also feeling better today, Mario and Rod.
All right, J-Dub, thanks. Romine's certainly a gamer because he banged up his shoulder pretty good diving for a ball a couple of nights ago.
And he didn't leave that game.
No, you're right. He played the rest of that contest. Jackie Bradley Jr. was at the plate when Herrera was picked off. He is starting things off here in the third, and he strikes out looking, although he disagrees with that call from Bill Miller.
And good four-seam fastball here thrown by Drew Smiley on the inner third of home plate, right on the black at 91 miles an hour.
We'll bring Brock Holt. In for strike one. When we get to the bottom of the third, we'll start talking about the Tigers draft, which obviously is in full swing right now. The Tigers so far have made 10 selections in the amateur draft. David Chadd will be joining us, the VP of amateur scouting for the Tigers. Always an exciting time when the Tigers begin to restock their system. 0-2 on Holt. And it's inside and low, 1-2.
David Chadd's got the good pipes, too.
He does.
He's got a great voice.
He could take our jobs in a second.
Yeah.
Bogart's on deck. Wave and a miss. He'll complete the strikeout. 2 gone here in the third. Time for a game break now. Back to the studio we go with Mickey York. All right, Mick, thanks. Here it's an early 1-0 lead for Boston. They got to run 2 batters into the game when Xander Bogaerts doubled. Very nearly hit it out. Scoring Brock Holt, who led the ball game off with a single. Bogaerts looks at a ball away, 1-0. Xander now with 17 RBIs. 1-1 the count.
His bat really perked up after they acquired Stephen Drew. I don't know if it's coincidence or what, but he's hitting .358 since the re-signing of Stephen Drew. Of course, he had to go back to the third base position, which he was still learning. Played some third base last year, just a handful of games. Then he played third base in the postseason for the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, and he played pretty well. You saw the rookie ranks there for Bogaerts, still considered a rookie this season, even though, as you mentioned, he had postseason experience in 2013. The 2-2. Grounded foul. Xander Bogaerts, the #1 prospect in the International League last year, has long been considered one of the top prospects in baseball, period. And again, the 2-2. Bouncing ball to third. Castellanos gobbles it up. Smiley now has a 1-2-3 inning. We head to the bottom of the third. 1-0 BOS Sox. As we go to the bottom of the third here at the ballpark, we're pleased to be joined at this time of the year every year. David Chad, who is the Vice President of Amateur Scouting for the Tigers. David, welcome. I know that obviously you don't have much time, these couple of days here, but thanks for joining us. What's it been like the last couple of days? You happy with the first 10 picks or so?
Yeah, very happy. I think you're always happy after the first day. I'm certainly happy with our first pick, Derek Hill, and Spencer Turnbull with their second pick. So, yeah, very excited.
Now, I've heard a lot about the Derek Hill kid. I mean, I've heard comparisons as far as his center field play, like a young Torrey Hunter, somebody that can really cover a lot of ground as Castellanos doubles down in the right field corner for a leadoff double here in the bottom half of the third inning. But I've heard exceptional things about his skill set.
Yeah, he's right now a four-tool player. He will be a five-tool player in time. Plus runner, plus defender, can throw. He's just electric. You go watch him play, he oozes enthusiasm. He's fun to watch, and just very fortunate the organization had a chance to get him.
Here he is at the draft, and Rod, you played against his dad, didn't you?
I did play against his dad, Orsino.
That was back in the day, though.
Orsino, I should say.
Yeah, Orsino was a former first-round pick.
He could hit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Derek Hill, the youngster, the high schooler out of California. Tigers get the leadoff double as Romine stands in. We're chatting with David Chad, who is the VP of Amateur Scouting for the Detroit Tigers. There's ball one missing outside. And David, obviously that number one pick or the first round pick is always a big one. It's one that you don't want to miss on. But how much of your draft preparation goes into that first round as compared to the other rounds that follow?
Well, obviously it's the most important pick. So we're going to spend the majority of our time and our efforts evaluating that pick. It's a collective group effort with all of our scouts, and we kicked that first round pick around for quite some time. It's you can't miss. You have to be right, and so we feel good about what we did with Derek Hill, and we'll be happy to get him on board and get him an entire uniform.
Usually you guys do not take high school position players in the first round. Very seldom do you do that. You did it with Castellanos, but a lot of times you guys are taking college pitchers, and so it was just the athleticism that wowed you about the youngster Hill?
It really was, and it's just the nature of the draft. Sometimes you're looking at those players and they don't get to your pick. This particular draft, Derek got to our pick. We were excited about it. And you're right, Rod, we don't normally take those type of players. We took Cameron Maben back in 2005, but, obviously, again, I'll say it again, this kid's a very exciting player.
All right, Spencer Turnbull, your second-round pick, a right-hander out of the University of Alabama. What can you tell us about him?
Well, he's a big, hard-throwing right-handed pitcher.
Base hit up the middle. That would get a run in. Castellanos coming around to score, and it's an RBI single for Romine.
It's very encouraging to see Romine do that with nobody out and a runner on second base. He was trying to hit something to the right side of the infield, and not only did he do that, he got himself a base hit and rewarded himself by getting an RBI as well.
It's the fifth RBI of the season for Romine. Tying this ball game up at 1. As the Tigers get the offense going here in the third, but you were talking about Turnbull.
Yeah, Turnbull's a starting right-handed pitcher, University of Alabama. Draws a lot of comparisons to Tommy Hunter, who pitched at Alabama. Hard-throwing right-hander, 92 to 97. Gets it a little bit better than that at times. Has a feel for an off-speed breaking ball, slider that is, and a feel for a changeup. Has ability to throw strikes. They don't hit him. I think they're hitting 192 off of him.
Rajay Davis bouncing one to second. Look at that play by Pedroia, and they'll get the force at second.
Hey, David, you've been doing this a long time. You've been a scouting director for a number of years. You've headed a lot of different drafts. As a matter of fact, you were with Boston before you came to the Tigers. You drafted Pedroia.
I did.
You also drafted John Lester. Do you still get as excited about doing these drafts?
I do. I mean, it's our Christmas, and everything leads up to this day, or days, I should say, and I love it. I mean, it's competitive. It's just something that's it's in your blood. It's all I know. It's what I enjoy. And it's what I'm fortunately allowed to do.
You say it's competitive, and I would imagine it really is, because obviously your jobs depend on it and the success that you have. But do you go back in past drafts and maybe compare notes with some of the other scouting directors around the league and say, hey, I got you in this round?
I don't know if you ever do that, but you certainly go back and you do a self-evaluation on where you were at, who you took, what you saw at the time, and where they're at now. You have to. That's the only way you get better in this game. At the end of the day, it's about talent. And it's my job and my responsibility, and it's our job as a scouting department to provide talent for the Detroit Tigers.
How vital is the work that the guys do in the trenches, some of the area guys that have to go into the houses and check on the makeup of the kids and kind of find out what they like to do, what they don't like to do. How important is that for you to trust those area scouts?
Oh, it's extremely important. I mean, they're the backbone of the operation. They know these players. They've known these players and their families for quite some time. They know the quality of the makeup of the player. They know the passion of the player. And they know the medical history of the player as well as the signability history of the player. So all that goes into play when we're making these decisions, and everything falls back on the area scout at that point. We go out and I'm able to see a player maybe once or twice. That area scout's maybe seen 15 to 20 times.
How much is the family background factored into whether or not you want to draft your kid?
I mean, family's important, and that's part of the solution, and that's part of where you're going when you're making the evaluation. And I would just say it's a piece of what we're trying to put together when we're making these decisions.
Ian Kinsler batting here with a run in, and he shoots a ground ball to short. They'll flip to second one, and the relay is high, but in time for the double play. David, we appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck the next couple of days. This wraps up, and I know you're already starting to think about next year, aren't you?
Oh, you got it right after this one.
Thanks, David.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. All right.
David Chaz, Vice President of Amateur Scouting for the Tigers. The first 10 picks the Tigers have made. Of course, we talk about Derek Hill. Spencer Turnbull out of Alabama's got some really good stuff. He throws in the upper 90s. The Tigers selecting a couple of catchers in the first 5 rounds, including Shane Zeal, who is the nephew of former big leaguer and former UCLA Bruin Todd Zeal. He was the 5th round selection. Tigers pretty heavy in the first 10 rounds on right-handed pitching.
So Hill's dad, the number 1 pick, also played a professional baseball, just like our number 5 pick. So they've reached into the bloodlines.
Yeah, and that's something I wanted to ask David until the double play ball ended the inning. How much bloodlines plays into when you evaluate a player and if it means anything.
I think it's huge these days because you're seeing so many kids get to the big leagues whose dads also played in the big leagues. Andrew Romine would be one. His dad Kevin played in the big leagues.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Dustin Pedroia, who starts it off here in the 4th. Tigers have tied it up.
He made some kind of play on that ball off the bat of Rajay Davis.
Yeah, that was a heck of a play.
That changed the whole complexion of the inning.
Well, certainly, yeah, because if it gets through, that's 3 consecutive hits for the Tigers, and they're getting more than just 1 run in that frame. Pedroia, Ortiz, Gomes, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the lineup for Boston Red Sox.
And David Chad mentioned that when he was with the Boston Red Sox, he drafted Dustin Pedroia.
That was a great question. It didn't occur to me that there are a couple of guys on this team right now that he drafted.
Right.
Lester. And some big timers, man. Two and two on Dustin Pedroia, who popped up his first time. He'll foul that back out of play.
Here's that play by Dustin Pedroia, and one of the reasons why he's able to make this play, he has great glove range, and he's always keeping his feet moving. I mean, that's not the easy of hops. He tried to get in to get it soon enough to get the ball to the shortstop, Herrera, to possibly turn two. Actually created a very difficult hop for himself, but he made the play look easy.
And again, the 2-2. Fouled off again by Pedroia.
My son, Rod Jr., played 3 years collegiately with Dustin Pedroia at Arizona State University. And they were roommates for 1 year on the road. And he said no one could beat Dustin Pedroia to the ballpark. This was in college. He was always at the ballpark. First one there, last one to leave. And he's done that in the major leagues as well.
Another foul. Well, Pedroia just seems to be one of those guys that had to beat everybody in work ethic to get noticed and get a chance. He's only listed at 5'8", 165. Big-time college player, and really didn't take long once he got into professional baseball to get to the major leagues.
And just to tie a ribbon around that story, Ian Kinsler was the starting shortstop at Arizona when Dustin got there. And Dustin was given the shortstop job over Kinsler. Kinsler transferred to Missouri.
And they're both doing pretty well right now.
Oh, they're two really good big league second basemen.
3-2 on Dustin Pedroia. Fly ball in the air to shallow left. Rajay Davis coming in. Pedroia is out, one away. Well, we've got some footage now on Spencer Turnbull, the right-hander out of Alabama.
David Chadd compared him to Tommy Hunter, the closer of the Baltimore Orioles, but he looks a lot like Roger Clemens to me. Look at those legs, man. This guy's 6'3", 230, but the legs are huge. That's where he gets all that power from.
His fastball has reached 98. He sits around 94, 95. But again, I guess Rod fits that profile of big power right-handed pitcher.
It might not take him long to get to the movies. That would be the show, the big leagues.
Ortiz pops it up foul. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Tough for David Ortiz these days as you see the shift that they play on him. Most teams play the same type of shift on David Ortiz. He leads the majors in intentional base on balls with 14. He doesn't have a tremendous amount of help right now behind him, so teams aren't going to challenge him very often.
Ortiz on Wednesday hit his 444th career home run.
He's had a brilliant career. And David Ortiz, when it's all said and done, has a real legitimate shot of ending up in Cooperstown, the Hall of Fame.
Nice play by Cabrera. Smiley covering, and there are 2 gone. By the way, just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Ortiz now is 0 for 2 with a couple of ground balls. Here's Johnny Gomes. Smiley has really done some fabulous work here tonight after the first 2 hits of the ball game to give the Red Sox a run.
Yeah, he settled in nicely.
Retired 6 in a row. He struck Gomes out to end the first inning. Red Sox have really been the definition this year of streaky. They've had some long streaks both ways. After winning 7 straight, they've now lost 3 in a row. They were swept by the Indians in 3 games that many of the Red Sox say they easily could have won. Pulled to third and right by Castellanos down the left field line.
Yeah, that one about undressed Nick down at third.
It'll be a 2-base hit for Johnny Gomes. Sixth double of the year. And that'll keep it going now for Pierzynski.
It's a 90-mile-per-hour fastball thrown down and into Johnny Gomes, and he dropped a bat head on it. Right past Nick Castellanos.
Pierzynski with an opportunity now with 2 outs to drive in a run. And a ground ball right side. Kinsler goes over to make the play. And the threat is over. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. To the bottom of the 4th we go.
As a plus-plus changeup, that would be well above average. And here's some examples of that outstanding change piece. A couple to Avila, a couple to Austin Jackson. Both guys struck out, but look at the fade on that last one. I mean, that ball really comes off his fingertips nicely.
It was helped out by a really good defensive play back in the 3rd. Got a double play as well and surrendered just 1 run to the Tigers. That tied the game up at 1.
If you weren't with us a couple of innings ago, De La Rosa credits Pedro Martinez for that great changeup. There's one more there to Austin Jackson. And he's doing something at age 25 that a lot of right-handers don't do. It usually takes right-handers a little bit longer before they trust the changeup to throw it to right-handed batters, because usually the changeup fades down and in to the righties, and that's where they like to hit the ball. But he just continues to feature that pitch here this evening.
And he's gotten ahead of Torrey now, 1-2. De La Rosa got this opportunity when Buchholz was placed on the DL. He is supposed to, Buchholz that is, throw a simulated game here tomorrow. Right back up the middle into center. Torrey has a leadoff single. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but it was that blockbuster trade the Red Sox made back in August of 2012 that netted them Ruby De La Rosa. Beckett, Crawford, and Adrian Gonzalez, the main players, going the other way for the Dodgers.
That's a whole lot of money that went the other way in that deal. After back-to-back changeups, A.J. Pierzynski thought he had Torrey Hunter set up for a fastball up in the zone, but he didn't. And Torrey got himself a solid single right back up the middle.
Here is Cabrera. Ball 1 inside. Miguel fly deep to center field his first time up. Cabrera was just 1 for 11 in that series. They just finished up against the Blue Jays.
Toronto slowed down all the Tigers hitters for the most part.
Yeah, literally. There weren't too many that had a whole lot of success. There's a strike call. Tigers swept the Red Sox in that 3-game series at Fenway. They hit .299 in that series in the 3-game sweep, but since that sweep, they've gone 4-14. And Brad Austin is hoping that his team begins the turnaround here tonight against the Red Sox.
I haven't seen many of those Zubas pants lately, have you?
They've kind of disappeared.
I mean, they were sporting them things all through the clubhouse about a couple of weeks ago.
Then we rolled into Cleveland wearing the Zubas. We got swept there, and one by one the Zubas have kind of disappeared.
Yeah, you don't see many in the clubhouse anymore these days.
1-2 on Cabrera. De La Rosa, 25 years old, born in Santo Domingo. Fouled away again.
Made a mistake with a changeup there with 2 strikes, and he got lucky. Miggy was all over this pitch.
Ooh. On a tee.
He got away with it.
De La Rosa last year pitched 1 inning in relief for the Red Sox against the Tigers. That was that 20-4 win Boston had at Fenway Park. Snap throw to first, and Hunter gets back. A.J. Pierzynski, the veteran catcher, wearing Boston colors this year, after so many seasons with Minnesota, Chicago.
Good catcher, good receiver, good game caller. De La Rosa will not shake him off this evening very often.
Line drive over the head of the shortstop Herrera into left center. Torrey on his way to third. Throw is cut off, and the Tigers are in business in the 4th.
And Miguel got himself a changeup at 89 miles an hour, located beautifully outside. Then he leaned on it, and he got the ball over the shortstop's head. Torrey Hunter froze momentarily, but still challenged the arm of Johnny Gomes in left field, able to make it over to third base. Tigers in business now, 1st and 3rd.
And they've got their number 4 hitter coming up. Victor Martinez will stand in. Flied out on 1 pitch back in the 2nd inning. Batting .330, leading the American League. And he drives this one into right center field. Bradley on the run. Oh, what a catch by Bradley. Hunter will tag and score. A terrific running play by Jackie Bradley Jr.
Miguel Cabrera has some of the best base running instincts in the big leagues, but he made a mistake here. He went too far. He gambled that that ball was not going to be caught by Bradley in center field. We've told you he has exceptional speed out there, and he made a great play. Miggy was almost to third base after this. Miggy didn't think his ball was going to be caught, nor did I. But what you do there is you simply go to second base, and if the ball gets past him, you'll still score. Miggy went way too far.
There's some of that defensive prowess we talked about with Jackie Bradley Jr. Oh, Miggy.
He's like, no way. He didn't catch that, did he?
So it's a 2-1 ball game. 8-6-3 on the put out of Cabrera, who had just an incredulous look on his face.
That's the 5th outfield assist this season for young Jackie Bradley Jr.
The 0-1 to Avila. Bouncing ball foul, first base side.
You saw to a man everybody going over to give Miggy a little pat on the back, a little tap on the shoulder. I don't think there's one player in that dugout that did not think that ball was going to fall in the outfield.
Cabrera is still wondering how it was caught. There's a drive to right center field. That'll get down. Base hit. And Vila has his first hit of the night. 2-out single.
Let's take one more look at the catch by Bradley. He gets a great jump. He takes a great route and had room to spare once he got there.
Cabrera. He's still in disbelief. Jackie Bradley Jr. There aren't too many ways you can get an RBI in a double play, but that's one of them. There's a strike on the outer edge. 0-1 on Jackson. Austin struck out back in the second. Way outside.
Told you Bradley has, De La Rosa has 3 pitches. The fastball, he's got the changeup, and he's got a breaking ball. The breaking ball right now is a work in progress. If he's going to be a really good big league starter, he's going to have to really develop that pitch. Otherwise, he may be better suited for the bullpen with the plus fastball and the plus changeup.
Driven to center field. Here comes Bradley again. Not going to get it. Base hit. Back-to-back singles for the Tigers. This is the 4th hit of the inning for Detroit.
There's the breaking ball by De La Rosa. It's not a really good pitch, just a spinner up in the strike zone, and Jackson waiting on it. Jackson 3 hits in the last 2 games. Is Mickey still wondering?
I think he is. He just refuses to believe that ball was caught.
He takes it personal.
He
takes his base running very seriously, and he knows how tough runs have been to come by for his team.
Castellanos, the batter. Everybody thinks of Cabrera as this guy that just is a supreme hitter, which obviously he is, but he's one of those guys, Rod, that just knows every facet of the game and how to play it.
His baseball IQ is higher than most. Just a tremendous talent.
Whether it's defense, throwing, base running, all aspects of the game. Castellanos had a double to lead off the 3rd. He scored a run. He shoots this one in the air to right field. Hit well. Going to stay in the ballpark, though, right in front of the wall as Sizemore hauls it in. And the Tigers set for a run. Detroit and the community since 1849. By Ram Trucks. Ram 1500 is Motor Trend's 2014 Truck of the Year and first ever back-to-back champion. And by Dean's Country Fresh Ice Cream Squares and Novelties. Share a pure moment. Back here at the ballpark on a gorgeous evening for baseball. The Tigers have taken their first lead of the game. Detroit with a run and a sac fly by Victor Martinez. And now they lead it 2-1. Smiley back to the hill. He throws a strike to Grady Sizemore. Bottom three coming up for the Red Sox. Sizemore, Jonathan Herrera, Jackie Bradley Jr. Pulled in the air to right field. Torrey is on the run, and he'll leap and make the catch. Sizemore hit pretty good, and Drew says, thank you very much. One out.
A nice play here in right field by Torrey Hunter. He almost overran that ball.
Shortstop Jonathan Herrera. Tigers have 6 hits in this contest, 3 for the Red Sox. 1 the fifth. And Herrera looks at a ball. Herrera reaching on a fielder's choice and then was picked off, technically caught stealing back in the second. He made a move to the bag. Smiley threw to first. Cabrera then threw to second to catch him stealing. 2-0. In for a strike, 2-1. Smiley looking for his first win since May the 3rd. He's pitching very well here tonight. Slap to right field on a line. Hunter will not be able to get it, and a Smith will buy him to the wall. Off to the races, Herrera. He will go to second and pull in with a double. 1 on, 1 out.
It's a nice piece of hitting here by Herrera, hitting that ball to right field. Torrey initially thought he could cut it off, and then the ball sliced over his head, so he simply ran it down at the base of the warning track and to get it back in to keep Herrera to a double.
Jackie Bradley Jr.
I told you Bradley's number is 202, a batting average, but nearly 300 with runners in scoring position. But Smiley, coming into this contest, holds left-handed batters to a 130 batting average.
And he struck Bradley out back in the 3rd. As you look at his pitching ratio, 70 now thrown by Smiley.
Bradley probably rushed to the big leagues to play every day in center field for the Boston Red Sox, but with the departure of Jacoby Ellsbury, he finds himself playing every day. He's never had a full season at any of their minor league affiliates, so he got to the big leagues in a hurry.
2011 was his first year in pro ball, just a couple of years ago. Swing and a miss. Romine was standing at second base expecting a pickoff throw, and left side of the infield was wide open. One ball, 2 strikes. 1 on, 1 out, tying run at second. Jackie Bradley, a career .297 minor league hitter. Chops that one foul. Brock Holt will be next. There's a meeting on the mound now. And Romine coming in to join in as well. One out doubled by Herrera. He's standing at second base. Wave and a miss. Another strikeout, second time that Smiley has punched out Bradley.
And the previous breaking ball that he threw to Bradley wasn't a good one, and he fouled it off. And Avila got up from his catching position, and he trotted out to the mound to have a conversation with Drew about the breaking ball. The next breaking ball he throws, he buries it at the bottom of the zone.
So Herrera remains at second. Here's the top of the lineup now, Brock Holt. He had a single to start the ball game on an 0-2 pitch and then scored when Bogaerts doubled him in. The only Red Sox run so far. 0-1. Holt came into the ball game leading all American League rookies, batting .317. Came over from the Pittsburgh Pirates along with Joel Hanrahan, who is now working his way back to the big leagues with the Tigers, trying to get his arm strength back after surgery. The 0-1. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Kinsler backs up to the grass. Holt is out. And that'll be it for the Red Sox. They waste a double. Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Belt Tire. Rays and the Red Sox got into it a little bit. David Price and David Ortiz, that was the start of it.
They don't like each other. And John Farrell got booted, and David Price was warned after hitting Ortiz, and he also hit Clark, and he wasn't kicked out of the game.
Bullpen's empty. David Ortiz.
This was ugly. I mean, because they're talking about war, and the words that were coming out of there was not good.
Andrew Romine is starting things off here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Rosa back to the hill. Romine had an RBI single back in the third. It's Romine, Davis, Kinsler. Tigers grab the lead in the fourth inning.
Don't the Rays and Red Sox have issues with one another anyway?
Yeah, it's been something that I think has been festering, and some of the words that came out of Red Sox camp concerning, especially David Ortiz, said he lost all respect for David Price. Here's the 1-2. There's a bouncer back towards second. Pedroia throws him out, and Romine is gone, one away here in the fifth inning. It's going to bring up Rajai Davis. Sometimes those things tend to linger from year to year to year. You get the feeling that this Tampa Bay-Boston rivalry is one that's kind of red hot at the moment.
Well, you just hope no one gets hurt.
Davis reaching on a fielder's choice. It's back in the third, and a ball outside from De La Rosa. Ruby now at 53 pitches.
Throwing a lot of strikes. Of the 53 pitches he's thrown, 38 have hit the strike zone.
That's what it looks like in the East with Toronto's sweep. They're 5.5 up on Baltimore. The sweep of the Tigers, that is. Boston 9 back.
Yeah, they better turn it up a notch because Toronto doesn't look like they're coming back to the pack.
Breaking ball bouncing in 2-1.
Yeah, but many thought that about Detroit a couple of weeks ago.
So do you think that the Blue Jays, after seeing them now for 3 games, has staying power in the East?
They are the best offensive team I've seen this year. Now, whether their pitching can continue to pitch at the level they've pitched at only remains to be seen. But I know Alex Anthopoulos is a very general manager and busy general manager, and he'll be looking for some pitching help out there to help them out.
They just have that look this year. You know what I mean? Of a team that's going to hang around. 2-2 the count. Kinsler waiting on deck. Tigers grab the lead with a run in the 4th inning, breaking the 1-all tie. Here again is the 2-2. Foul tip into the glove for strike 3.
Another changeup. That one at 83 miles an hour. So he's backed off of the velocity on the changeup, and when he goes around 83, 84, he gets much more depth on the pitch.
Hey, tomorrow night, the Tigers battle these Boston Red Sox at 7:15. Fans are invited to stay after the game for a fireworks spectacular. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. 2 gone now here in the 5th, and here is Ian Kinsler. A couple of ground balls, one resulting in a double play. And Ian looks at a ball outside. And strikeout for De La Rosa was just his 3rd of the contest. He picked up 2 back in the 2nd. Driven to left field, hit well. Gomes going back, turning on it, and that ball is out of here. It's a home run for Ian Kinsler. 6th of the year.
It's another changeup thrown by De La Rosa, and that's the main reason why a lot of right-handers do not like to throw changeups to right-handed batters, especially right-handed batters with some pop in their bat. If you leave that ball up, the result usually is a home run.
27th RBI as well for Kinsler. He goes deep. He makes it 3-1 Detroit. Hunter had a single and a run scored back in the 4th. He shoots one in the air to right field. That ball is hit well. Sizemore back, track, wall, back-to-back home run.
Look out, T. Hunter.
Opposite field power for Torrey. 9th of the year for Hunter.
It took a couple of innings before the Tigers were able to figure out the youngster De La Rosa, but the last couple of innings, they've put some really good swings on the baseball, and Torrey usually does not display this type of power the opposite way, but he finds the seats for another home run, his 9th of the year.
Do I hear 3 in a row? Here comes Cabrera.
Well, they got the right man at the dish.
That last fastball was at 97.
As we like to say with Miguel, he is standing in scoring position as we speak in that batter's box. It's the 2nd home run of the 9 to right field for Torrey Hunter.
Now De La Rosa with the 1-1.
That'll get a smile out of the hitting coach.
Tigers did not have a whole lot to smile about in the series against the Blue Jays offensively, but they have woken up tonight with 4 runs. In there, a strike at the knees, 2-2 on Cabrera.
And Miggy did not think he was going to get a fastball there, but De La Rosa reached back to throw his best fastball of the night at 98 miles an hour. Miggy was sitting on something soft there.
Outside, 3-2.
After the home run to Hunter, he's gone 97, 98, 99
Whoa.
with his fastball. I'd say he's a little angry.
I'd say so as well. 3-2 on Cabrera. Crowd starting to make some noise now. And he missed it outside, ball 4. We're 2 out, nobody on. Kinsler homered, Hunter homered, and now Cabrera's walked. And for De La Rosa, who is seemingly cruising along the first visit to the mound. Meanwhile, Drew Smiley, who gave up an early run, has been supported now by his teammates. Juan Nieves will break up the conversation, head back to the bench. And De La Rosa trying to regroup. Victor Martinez. Huge crowd here tonight. Fireworks after the game. Fireworks as well during the game. Ball 1. Martinez hit a ball deep in his last at bat that Bradley made a great catch on. Sac fly to drive in a run. Here's the 1-0. Way inside. It'll get away from Brzezinski. It'll ricochet all the way to the camera well. Move the runner up.
It looks like they're pitching around Victor Martinez anyway, and I think now A.J. Brzezinski going to stroll out and have a conversation with De La Rosa to tell him, just make sure you don't let Victor beat you. No disrespect to Avila in that on-deck circle, but they've got a free spot parking space for Victor down at first, and should they choose to use it. Because really he's had no difficulty throwing strikes all night long, and the first 2 pitches to Victor Martinez, not even close.
Two 2-0 the count. He drops it an off-speed pitch in for a strike. 2-1.
If he allows Victor Martinez to get a base hit, it's going to be a huge no-no for De La Rosa.
I mean, this is a situation screaming to just put Martinez on.
He's hitting 110 points higher than the on-deck hitter.
Back out of play. 2-2 now on Martinez. What would be the argument here to pitch to Victor in the spot?
I'm not sure what they would be thinking. Maybe it's because they're already trailing by 3 runs. I guarantee you if it was a 1-1 game or a 2-1 game, they would not be pitching to Victor here.
2-2 on Martinez. Way outside. Full count now, 3-2. Cabrera walked, advanced on a wild pitch after the back-to-back homers by Kinsler and Hunter.
The Boston Red Sox do not boast of the same kind of arms in their outfield as the Toronto Blue Jays did, the team that just left. Bradley in center can throw, but below average arms in left field for Gomes and for Grady Sizemore in right field. Should be no problem for Miggy to score on a base hit.
Herrera bolting in behind the runner at second, but did not take a throw. Miggy with his head on a swivel out there at second. Here are the two guys that have gone back-to-back. Numbers 1 and 2 in the lineup, Kinsler and Hunter. And the 3-2. Foul again. Martinez came in leading the league in hitting. Knocked in a run with a sac fly in his last at bat. De La Rosa down at Pawtucket this year had an ERA of 3.04. Was doing really well there and pitched outstanding baseball in his first start against the Rays. A little bit different here tonight, though. Tigers have 4 runs on 8 hits. Pulled foul. Ooh, is that close? He nearly paid for it, too. Diving try down at first by Holt.
It's a good effort by Holt down there. He's already hugging that line with Victor in the batter's box. And they're playing him to pull. Herrera, their shortstop, is pretty much directly behind second base. Pedroia, the second baseman, about 4 or 5 steps deep on the grass at his position. Whole left side of the infield open for Victor Martinez.
That one got home plate umpire Bill Miller. You can tell it stung, too.
Got him on the thumb.
Three and 2 on Martinez. We're in the 5th inning here. The Tigers have added 2 more to lead 4-1. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Pedroia will backhand it. Martinez is out to end the inning, but it's a big inning for the Tigers. Friday night fireworks after the game and during the game. Kinsler, Hunter, back-to-back home run. And his first pitch is in for a strike to Xander Bogaerts. It'll be Bogaerts, Pedroia, Ortiz, 2, 3, and 4 right through the teeth of the Boston lineup in the 6th inning. Here's the 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. It's been a different Drew Smiley here tonight.
He's attacking the strike zone. Pitch count in pretty good shape. He's thrown 78. The majority of those have been strikes.
It's in the air to right center. Jackson Hunter. And who wants it? Torrey does. 1 out. Let's check in now with Justin White.
All right, Mario, thanks. Great timing on our part because Torrey Hunter hit a home run last inning, and we're up here with Torrey Hunter Jr., who, yes, plays football for Notre Dame, and he's at the game tonight. So what's it like being here and seeing your old man hit a home run?
It's definitely exciting. You know, I don't get too many opportunities to come out here in Detroit and see my dad play because, you know, football and the schedule that I'm on. But it's just great to come out here and see him play, and he definitely gave me a great birthday present with the home run.
Your birthday is tomorrow. You're going to be 19 years old, and you're actually going into your first season with the Fighting Irish. You redshirted last year. How excited are you to put on the pads?
I mean, I'm super excited. You know, it's my first time being able to come out here and play at the collegiate level and go against some other teams. You know, I did spring ball, but you go against your same teammates. But it's great to go out here and, you know, play against a different team and get my first look at college football.
Not only do you play football, you also grew up playing baseball. So which sport do you like better?
I mean, I love both sports. I can't really lean either way. But, you know, I did grow up playing baseball. And, you know, that's kind of the sport that's in my blood. It was instilled in me. So,
Torrey, thanks for taking some time with us, and best of luck this upcoming season.
Thank you.
Torrey Hunter and the Fighting Irish kick off the season August 30th against Rice in South Bend. Mario and Rod, back to you.
All right, Justin, thanks. One thing we do know, Rod, Junior has Dad's smile, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a fine-looking young man.
And, of course, a great present for Torrey Jr., senior with a home run here tonight.
Hey, thanks a lot for doing that.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Dustin Pedroia.
J-Dub all over the place tonight.
Yeah, he is. He's roaming the ballpark. Slow roller towards short. Romine in the backhand. Throws high. No tag. Tag it, maybe. Did he hit the bag? He must have hit the bag. A high throw by Romine, and the runner reaches.
Andrew had plenty of time to throw Pedroia out, but it took too long getting the ball over there, and he lifted it too high, and then Pedroia just simply left his feet to tag the bag to make sure that he wasn't tagged by Mickey.
E6 is the ruling. And Pedroia clearly touching the bag.
A late slide by Dustin.
Now David Ortiz. A couple of ground balls for Ortiz tonight. 0-1.
18 home runs in this ballpark in his career, which ties Paul Konerko. And even though the Tigers are playing the shift on Big Papi, he's not trying to hit the ball the other way.
For as good as Smiley has been against left-handed hitters, Ortiz came in 3 for 4 with a home run against Drew. But Drew's got him a couple of times tonight. 1-1 the count. Two and one on David Ortiz. Johnny Gomes waiting on deck. Tigers 4 runs, 8 hits. Red Sox a run on 4 hits. Drill to right center field. It's going to get down, a base hit. Pedroia headed to third base. He is in there standing up, and now the Red Sox have something going here in the 6th. Right now, while we have a chance, back to the studio we go for a game break. Mickey York.
In a 2-1 count, David Ortiz knew he was not going to get a fastball from Smiley, so he sat on the breaking ball and he waited on it beautifully. And it's really not that bad a pitch. I mean, it's down and it's away, but he was sitting on that pitch. He had good big league hitters, and Ortiz would fall into that category. They don't miss the hanging breaking balls, or the breaking balls, I should say, when they're looking for them.
Now we'll see if Smiley can get a ground ball here and turn 2 to get out of the inning.
Gomes hit a sharp ball down at Castellanos. His last time up for a double. Castellanos couldn't make the play on it. It was hit very hard.
Here's the 0-1. It's 0-2 on Johnny Gomes. 2-base hit in that last at bat. Also a strikeout in this game. Gomes, 247 last year for the Red Sox in their World Championship season, but he hit 13 homers.
Drew Smiley is 17 of 24 in first pitch strikes here today. A lot better than he was in Seattle, his last outing.
Fouled away. Talking about that trade that the Red Sox made 2 years ago in 2012, shedding some payroll. They kind of retooled their team last year, and this guy right here, Johnny Gomes, is one of the first guys they got in the offseason.
Well, they spent a lot of money on Adrian Gonzalez. They also spent quite a bit of money on Carl Crawford, and they really didn't work out there, although Gonzalez was doing well offensively. Crawford was not.
It's pulled foul down the third base line.
So they simply spun those guys off to the Dodgers, and the Dodgers have those deep pockets, so they were able to take on those huge salaries.
John Farrell's team, though, 9 games back entering play tonight. Again, the 0-2. Fouled away.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed pitch on Drew Smiley. His top fastball tonight has been 92 miles an hour. And we just saw that pitch to Johnny Gomes.
Blocked by Avila. So Smiley trying to pitch around the jam on the air, committed here in the 6th. Tigers have some action in their bullpen as Smiley is nearing 100 in the game. That's Ian Kroll. This will be the 95th pitch coming up for Smiley. And it's lined foul down the left field line. First of 3 between these two ball clubs. We'll play over the weekend. Tigers then will hit the road for a 4-game road trip to Chicago. Tigers have Scherzer and Sanchez the next 2 days here at the ballpark. Wasted one there.
It's quite a battle here between Johnny Gomes and Drew Smiley. It's turned into a pretty good at-bat.
The next one will be the 9th pitch in this at-bat.
And this at-bat started out no balls, 2 strikes.
Tigers fell behind 1-0. They have scored the last 4 runs of the game. They lead by 3. Low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. After Gomes, it's Pierzynski.
If you're Smiley here, you much rather have the ground ball than the strikeout. You'll take the strikeout, but you'd love to get that double play ball to end this inning.
Grounded foul. A quick inning here in the 6th might have meant that Smiley could have gone out for the 7th, but right now he's right around 100 pitches. See how the rest of this inning goes. Albuquerque now has joined Kroll in the bullpen. Here's the 2-2. And it's inside. 3-2 on Gomes. Clearly in. Smiley thought he had him.
And Smiley did not want to throw the pitch that Avila initially put down. And then after Smiley stepped off, Avila went out to check with him to see exactly what he's thinking at and why he wants to throw the pitch he wants to throw.
So Drew's next pitch will be number 100 on the evening. Ortiz at first, Pedroia down at third base. Fly ball. This will get the run in, backing up. Jackson to make the play. Pedroia tags and scores. What an at bat there for Johnny Gomes. He ends up with a sac fly and an RBI. And so the error comes around to score. 4-2 ball game now. Ortiz remains at first base. Here's A.J. Pierzynski. Ground ball slowly towards second. Kinsler has it there, and that's going to end the inning. You get a run back, though, do the Red Sox. Leave a man. And in game one of this series, the Tigers bring a 4-2 lead to the bottom of the sixth. To tweet your photo using hashtag Detroit Fan Photo for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. It is brought to you by AT&T. Great view of the ballpark from up above. The Tigers and the Boston Red Sox doing battle here. Tigers have a 4-2 lead right now as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Alex Avila looks at the ball high and away. They play him to pull. The shift is on. Single for Avila. That was in his last at bat back in the 4th. Jackson on deck, and then Castellanos. Two and one on Avila. Tigers tonight have hit 2 home runs, back-to-back shots, Kinsler and Hunter. Here's the 2-1 pitch. 3-1 on Avila. Avila has walked 24 times this year, which is a team high. He's been atop that category most of the year. There's the 3-1 offering. And a strike on the outer edge, 3-2. Ruby De La Rosa is still out there. Gave up the 2 runs in the 5th. Also single runs in the 3rd and 4th after the Red Sox staked him to an early 1-0 lead. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss, and Avila goes down swinging.
That change piece is a tremendous pitch for De La Rosa.
Here's our Comerica Bank game summary tonight with the Tigers up by a pair. We talked about the Kinsler-Hunter back-to-back homers. Castellanos on the homestand starting to heat up a little bit now. 5 for 8, and Smiley in this game. 1 earned run in 6 innings. Ball high to Austin Jackson. Fastball sailed up.
Jackson's gotten 3 hits in the last couple of days, and visibly you can see he's shortened his leg kick. And that leg kick is a lot shorter than it is when he began the season.
There's something that Austin really hadn't done a whole lot in his career, trying to bunt.
No. Austin was having some timing issues. He was late on the fastballs. He was out in front of the breaking ball, so he has simply shortened that leg kick. The leg not coming up nearly as high these days.
Well, it is pretty visible, isn't it?
As a matter of fact, it looks like he's kind of gone back to his toe tap.
Yeah. 2-1. Bender is a little bit away. 3 balls, 1 strike on Jackson. Badenhop is now starting to warm up in the bullpen for Boston. Fastball on the outer edge. He thought it was a touch outside. 3-2.
He threw Avila a 3-2 changeup. But you can't sit on the changeup, or you can't even look for it if you're Jackson. You look for your fastball, and if he makes a mistake with the changeup, he throws it, you'll hit it.
Foul tip into the glove.
Man.
2 strikeouts here in the 6th inning.
Is it just me, or does his changeup remind you of the Fernando Rodney changeup?
Pretty close, and that's high praise.
He's throwing 3-2 changeups for strikes.
So give De La Rosa 5 strikeouts in the ball game, and here is Nick Castellanos. In for strike 1.
Real nice, smooth, easy delivery by De La Rosa. And he's gotten up to 99 miles an hour in this game. He did that last half inning.
Pulled on the ground and through. Base hit. It's the 2nd hit of the game for Castellanos, and suddenly Nick now really starting to heat up. 4-2 ball game in the 6th. Tigers have a 2-out base runner now for Romine. Castellanos has a single to go with this double. And the Tigers now have 9 hits. Ball 1 high. Smiley with a really good start here tonight. He has Kroll warming up in the bullpen.
Kroll heating up like he's coming into the game.
Here Smiley may be done. Reaching the 100 plateau in pitches tonight. 2-0 the count. Two and one on Andrew Romine. He had himself a single back in the third, which drove in a run, and that got the Tigers on the board after the leadoff double by Castellanos. Lifted foul, back out of play. Even the count now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. De La Rosa making his second major league start this year. Here's the 2-2, and it's outside 3-2. De La Rosa in that first start against the Rays was awfully good. 7 scoreless, struck out 8, didn't walk anybody. The 3-2 with the runner going. It's ball 4 and a walk to Romine. Two on now with 2 outs. Serial coverage provided by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. De La Rosa may have come to the end of the line here. Let's see. John Farrell claps his hands, takes the baseball, and they will go to the bullpen after 96 pitches tonight for De La Rosa. Couldn't finish off the 6th inning. 2 out single, then a walk. Burke Badenhop comes in. It's a wall side windows pitching change. We'll be back. Well, Burke Batenhop comes out of the bullpen now for the Boston Red Sox.
And Batenhop pitching in his 28th game this year with an outstanding earned run average of 189. As a matter of fact, this Boston bullpen is a good bullpen. One of the best in the American League.
Well, they're trying to put out a fire here in the 6th. Tigers lead by a pair. They have 2 on, 2 out. Rajay Davis, the batter. And it's in for a strike, 0-2. Bullpen ERA 2.81 this year for the Red Sox.
Second best in the AL.
Batenhop, former Tiger, was involved in the Miguel Cabrera deal. Bouncing ball right side. Routine play there for Pedroia, and that'll end the inning. Tigers threaten to leave the pair on, though. We'll go to the 7th.
Was much better here this evening. It's our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. He picked off a runner. He gave up 1 run in the very first inning on back-to-back hits, and then he just pitched a really good game. He kept the ball out of the middle of the plate. He changed the eye levels. He worked on the corners. The breaking ball had some depth to it. Outstanding start here tonight by Drew Smythe.
There are the numbers on Drew, who dropped his ERA from 4.10 to 3.81. After his outing tonight, Ian Kroll will take over now as we go to the 7th inning, 2-run ball game. Tigers and Red Sox here in game 1. Full-side windows pitching change with Kroll in.
Kroll's done nice work this year. He struck out 13. He has walked just 4. And pitching in his 29th game for the Tigers.
Sizemore hits it in the air toward left, slicing away. Rajay will not get there. Into the crowd it goes. Sizemore, Herrera, and Jackie Bradley Jr. Bottom 3 facing Kroll. Strike call.
Kroll does his best work, as you would imagine, against left-handers. And left-handers hitting only .222 against Ian. Right-handers hitting .282 against Kroll.
Almost hit him that time, but Vila had to leave the crouch. 2-2. Sizemore walking a fly out in this game. Brady had some big years with the Indians. In fact, he had 139 home runs in an Indians uniform. 3 All-Star games. Fouled off. Shortstop Herrera waiting on deck. Sizemore at times has shown some flashes of regaining the form that he had several years ago before the surgeries, but just has not been able to consistently put it together. And again, he's up and in, 3-2.
94 with that last fastball thrown by Kroll.
Albuquerque has been loosening in the Detroit bullpen. Got him, strike 3. Sizemore punched out.
You cannot locate a four-seam fastball to a left-hander any better than this one that Kroll located here to Sizemore.
Jonathan Herrera steps in. Be up to the Tigers bullpen now to hold on to this lead. Smiley was really good through 6. Herrera had a double in his last at bat. Back up the middle into center. That's a base hit. A 2-hit night for Herrera. One on, one out. Hey, the Tigers face the Twins on Father's Day, June 15th at 1:08. All kids 14 and under and dads get a free Father's Day photo frame. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER. Bender drops in for a strike. 1-1 on Jackie Bradley Jr. Tigers have 9 hits tonight, 6 for the Red Sox. It is 4-2 in favor of Detroit. Bradley had his difficulties against Smiley. Drew struck him out twice. Facing another lefty here in Ian Kroll. Fouled it straight back, 1-2.
Well, we gave you the numbers on Kroll against left-handers, just a .222 batting average. And that's exactly what Brad Ausmus had in mind. Sizemore, the right-hander, Herrera, followed by 2 more left-handers, Bradley and Holt.
Swing and a miss. It has been a tough night for Jackie Bradley. He fans for the 3rd time. And 2 strikeouts now for Kroll.
Another four-seam fastball right by. And Jackie Bradley Jr.
Here's the top of the lineup now. Brock Holt stands in. He's 1 for 3. Holt with a .317 batting average, leading All-American League rookies. Lefties, for the most part, have not bothered Holt this year. There's a slow roller hit towards short. Romine has it, and his throw is in time to retire the side. No runs and a hit, 1 man left. Time to stretch at Comerica.
Let's take a look at the Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery of the game. Ian Kinsler got himself a changeup at the top of the zone and hit it into the Boston Red Sox bullpen for a solo home run. Torrey Hunter stepped up. Very next batter, he hit one the opposite way and for a solo shot as well, his 9th of the year.
Kinsler sends the first pitch on the ground to the shortstop Herrera, who throws him out. And Ian now is 1 for 4, 1 gone here in the 7th inning. Burke Badenhop came on to get the final out of the 6th.
I was really impressed with the arm of Ruby De La Rosa. He is going to be a really good big league pitcher once he really is able to find a nice release spot with his breaking ball, whether it's the curveball or the slider. Because the other 2 pitches he has, the fastball and the changeup, are well above major league average.
Here is Torrey Hunter. Torrey homered against De La Rosa back in the 5th inning as part of the back-to-back homers. He and Kinsler went deep.
If you have one really good pitch, you can compete in the big leagues. If you have 2 good pitches, you can win a lot. But if you add that 3rd pitch that you can throw for a strike, you can dominate at this level on any given night.
That's back up the middle, and Torrey having himself a night, his 3rd hit of the contest.
Torrey showing out for his son here tonight. His birthday is tomorrow. Torrey Jr. And better plate appearances here today for Torrey. He homered to right. Now he singles sharply right back up the middle. And he's keeping that bat in the strong strike zone a long time tonight. Congratulations to you, too. Your son Daniel is going to graduate from high school on Sunday. And we have an off day, so you're going to be able to take in all the festivities with the family this weekend.
Well, you know, had it not been a national game, I was going to take it off anyway. You would have had to work with somebody else. Probably John Keating.
Yeah.
But we have it off, and so thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Daniel is headed to Michigan State University.
You and Kathy have done wonderful with your boys. You've got one in college now. Your other boys headed to college.
Kathy's done it all.
Soon they'll be out your pocket.
No, that's never going to end.
Huh?
You know that. They're never out of your pocket. At least that's what you've been telling me the last 5 or 6 years.
That's right. They don't get out your pocket. They stay on scholarship.
Yeah, the bank of dad is always open. Cabrera batting with 1 on, 1 out. And a ball low. 1 ball to no strikes on Miggy. Well, the 8th inning guys warming up. That would be Jabba Chamberlain. He'll come on in the 8th, and if all goes to plan, 8th and in the 9th. Tigers trying to hold on for a win here, which would finally get them back in the victory column. The Tigers had lost 5 in a row coming into play tonight. In there for a strike, 1-1. See, Hunter has 3 hits tonight. Castellanos having a good night as well with a couple of knocks. Kinsler is homered. One ball and 1 strike. Bouncer right back to the mound. Badenhop to second one, and the relay is a double play. 1-6-3 inning over. Let's go to the 8th. Brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit, and by the new Chevy Silverado light duty and heavy duty lineup. What a spectacular night here in downtown Detroit tonight. Mario and Rod back here at the ballpark. It is 4-2 as we go to the 8th inning, and the Tigers trying to hold on to the win here, Rod, and break that 5-game losing streak. If they do, you could credit some of that to Drew Smyly, who seemed to be much more aggressive here tonight.
No doubt about that. He threw a lot of strikes. He was not pleased with his last outing when he threw 105 pitches in just 4 innings. But not just Drew Smyly. They've done a lot of things right here. Runner on second base, they've moved him over. Runner on third, they've gotten him in. And they've also played some big ball here, big boy baseball with Hunter and also Kinsler.
Yeah, well, what is more really good to see, the fact that Smyly pitched well or the offense waking up tonight?
I just think an all-around game. I mean, now if Jabba does his job and then Nathan in the 9th, it'll be a complete victory here today. And that's exactly what you need to do to get out of a long losing streak.
Yeah, two teams that were struggling coming in. Right now the Tigers hold the advantage as Jabba Chamberlain checks in now for Detroit. He will try and get through the 8th inning, holding this lead.
And Jabba averaging over 1 strikeout per inning this season. 29 strikeouts total in 26 innings, 7 walks. The 29 strikeouts, a good majority of those have come on the Jabba slider. And Jabba told me his slider this year is much improved from last year when he was still kind of recovering from the Tommy John surgery.
And he will face 2, 3, 4 here in the 8th inning. Xander Bogaerts leads it off. And he takes ball 1 high.
It's all kind of fallen into place in the 7th inning for Brad Ausmus. He brought the lefty Kroll in to go up against left-handers that are in the lineup for Boston. Now it's a couple of right-handers that Jabba Chamberlain will see, and then Big Papi. You don't want anybody on base for Big Papi.
Ball 2 high. 2-0 on Xander Bogaerts. Pedroia to follow, then Ortiz.
You want to make sure when he steps in the batter's box, the bases are empty.
Red Sox would need a base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. Good breaking ball in there on a 2-0 pitch. It's 2-1.
He said he was able to start throwing that slider in the middle of December last year. And when he got to spring training this year, there were no restrictions on the slider. He threw it a lot, and he threw a lot of good ones.
Left that one up, and it's bounced to short. Romine in the dirt, but it's scooped there by Cabrera. 1 gone here in the 8th. Well, tomorrow it's a full day of Major League Baseball action, beginning with the Indians taking on the Rangers on Fox Sports 1. Then it's Baseball Night in America on Fox Sports as David Ortiz and the Red Sox come to Comerica Park. Our Major League Baseball doubleheader begins Saturday at 3 on Fox Sports 1 and continues at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox.
Tigers should draw huge crowds this entire weekend with the Boston Red Sox being in town.
Yeah, they got nearly 40,000 tonight, 39,762. Dustin Pedroia, the batter. 1 ball to no strikes on Pedroia.
This is the biggest batter of the inning for Chamberlain. And do not let Pedroia reach base.
He's had huge numbers against Jabba in his career. There's another breaking ball in for a strike that time.
Did that say 440?
Said 440.
And that was no small sampling either,
No,
was it?
It's been a while. I mean, these two teams, obviously, when Jabba was with the Yankees, they played a lot. Here's the 1-1. This is 3rd straight breaking ball, 1-2. 36 games in his career against the Boston Red Sox. Now the 1-2 to right field on a line, straight at Hunter. Well, you got your wish. You kept them off the bases. And now with 2 outs, they'll face Ortiz.
Jabba didn't hit his spot here to Pedroia, but he got away with it. And Pedroia lining out sharply to Torrey Hunter in right field. can see Avila wanted that ball down and away. He left it right over the heart of the plate.
Now Ortiz with the bases empty. Ball one. David is .300 against Jabba Chamberlain with a home run, 6 for 20. Same location, same result, same pitch, 2-0. 263 now for Ortiz. Singled in his last at bat.
You want to go right after him if you're Jabba. Even if he hits out of the ballpark, he can't tie the score.
2-1. About as good as it gets here in downtown Detroit, and a gorgeous night. That overhead view of the ballpark that is packed them in tonight, and they expect to do that the entire weekend.
Yeah, the blimp was here yesterday, and the aerial views were tremendous. And again, tonight they're very good.
Meanwhile, Avila hit the deck.
Yeah, backspin, back swing by David Ortiz. He gets that a lot, more so than any catcher I've watched in the big leagues these days.
It makes you wonder if he stands or squats closer to hitters than. And you look at Ortiz flashing fingers. I don't know if he's any closer to hitters or what the problem is. Oh. How many fingers am I holding up, says David Ortiz?
2, 3.
You're good. No problem. Kevin Rand's not buying it, though. He's doing his own medical analysis. They're going to take him out?
Yep, looks like it.
Brad Ausmus came out and said, let's go. You're out of the game. They don't want to mess around with it either. It's really like nothing we've ever seen, whether it's the backswings, the foul tips.
Yeah, Brad Ausmus was commenting on it just a couple of days ago, and he said that he caught 18 years in the big leagues and didn't look like or feel like he got hit as much as Avila's getting hit.
Brian Halladay is going to be pressed into duty here in the 8th. So Halladay in Avila's spot, which is 5th in the lineup. So they'll bring Alex back to the clubhouse and look him over.
It's the second time tonight that Avila has been hit by a Boston Red Sox hitter. And Xander Bogaerts got him in the first inning.
And here's Ortiz on the backswing.
And Tigers have some doctors here at the ballpark every single night. And Dr. Michael Workings and also Steve Lemos. And they are down in the Tigers clubhouse at the beginning of the game, and they stay until the game is over. So they're always getting wonderful medical attention.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Checked it foul, back in the seats. Ortiz with the excuse me swing, didn't mean to go around and fouled it off. Tigers have 10 hits in this game, 6 for the Red Sox.
Ortiz is trying to knock everybody out of the game.
Apparently.
He got Avila, now he's trying to knock a fan out.
Johnny Gomes would be next if Ortiz is able to reach. Foul. Well, The career of David Ortiz has been filled with one dramatic homer after another. Of course, the Tigers unfortunately felt his wrath in the ALCS last year with a grand slam.
He appears to be having as much fun playing the game as our very own Miguel Cabrera.
Little chopper back up the middle. Romine, long run. Got him. 1, 2, 3, eighth inning for Jabba Chamberlain. Ortiz is retired. Romine had to go a long way to get to that ball.
America Park with a reminder to stick around after the game for Tigers Live. I'll be chatting with Torrey Hunter about his big night at the plate. You'll also hear from Drew Smiley about his much improved outing. Plus, the post-game comments of Brad Ausmus, Mickey York, and Craig Monroe in the Coliseum Studios. Tigers Live right after the game, right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Mario and Rod, back to you for now.
All right, Justin, thanks. As we head to the bottom of the eighth inning, the Tigers are on top in this one. Hopefully they'll be talking about happy things tonight in the post-game show. And Chris Capuano is on now for the Red Sox.
At 228 earned run average for Capuano in 27 2/3 innings. He's logged 24 games. Pretty much a situational guy. He's got quite a few strikeouts and 25 strikeouts against 11 walks.
Ball one to Victor Martinez as we get things started here in the bottom of the eighth inning. Martinez, then Holiday to follow, and then Austin Jackson. Two balls, no strikes. 9-year major league career for Capuano, all in the National League prior to this year. Milwaukee, Mets, and the Dodgers, Arizona as well. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Strike called on Martinez. Here's the 2-1. High, towering drive to left. Way back, and the Tigers have another homer. Victor Martinez. That's number 14. makes it a 3-run game.
And Victor Martinez got himself a fastball in a fastball-friendly count. And Victor, so many times, when he knows he's going to get that fastball, he will simply clear the hips out of the way. And when he's able to do that, he's able to get that bat in the right area, and he catches it just right to get that loft. And it's carried out of the yard 14 times for V-Mart this year.
Martinez has just hit his 4th from the right side. He came in batting .404 right-handed. Here's the 0-1. Holiday slicing one to the gap in right center. That's going to get down. Extra bases. Bryan motoring towards second. He's going to take the turn. He's going to try for 3. Holiday has a triple. And his teammates love it.
That would be the first career triple for Bryan Holiday. Get him some oxygen. He jumped on the first pitch fastball that's up and away from him. The ball goes into the gap. He's thinking 2. But once the ball got into right center field and it wasn't picked up cleanly by Jackie Bradley Jr., he simply got back on his horse and got over to third base with a slide.
It's going to be a short night for Capuano. He is out of the ball game. The Red Sox go right back to the bullpen, and we shall return. Hits in this ball game. Bryan Holiday has just tripled for the Tigers. Chasing Capuano out of the game. Austin Jackson is the batter now with the infield in. And he shoots one foul back out of play. The new pitcher is Edward Mujica for Boston.
Mujica at the beginning of the year last year was closing for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Ball outside to Jackson. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Jackson has 6 sacrifice flies this season, which is second only to Matt Joyce of the Tampa Bay Rays.
He got a lot of those early in the month of April when he was batting over 300. He looks at a ball high.
And, of course, you would imagine that his numbers, getting that runner in from third, less than 2 outs, would be pretty good with the 6 sac flies. Ooh.
And did he have a rip there?
He had a good pitch to hit, too. He knows it.
Mojica last year saved 37 for the Cardinals in 65 appearances. Broke in with the Indians, went to San Diego, Florida, and St. Louis. Driven to right field. Doesn't get the job done. Sizemore runs it down. It's going to be another sacrifice fly. Nice job by Austin Jackson.
Tremendous concentration there by Austin Jackson. He took the big swing on the 2-1 fastball that he fouled straight back. And then he got in his 2-strike approach, spread out just a little bit, took a really nice, easy swing, only trying to hit the ball deep enough to right field to score Brian Holiday, which he's able to do.
18th RBI of the season now. It's a 4-run game, 6-2 in favor of the Tigers. And Mojica will face Castellanos. Breaking ball stays up, but it's a high strike right above the belt. 2 out of 3 with a double. Run scored. Jackson with a hit and a sac fly in the game tonight. That's a good sign. AJ trying to bounce back after really a rough month of May.
He had a couple of hits yesterday, too. He was on base 3 times. He also received a base on balls.
Here's the 1-1. Old foul, 1-2. Red Sox in the 9th will have Gomes, Pierzynski, and Sizemore.
It really doesn't matter whether Austin Jackson is leading off or whether he's batting 6th or 7th. When he's playing well, there's a tremendous amount of energy in the team.
Yeah, the Tigers saw a lot of that energy from the leadoff spot the last couple of years. He was scoring nearly 100 runs every year.
He's a catalyst. When he is playing well, the team plays well.
Jackson has gotten the majority of the at-bats in the 5 spot this year for the Tigers, who are still looking for a consistent 5-hole hitter. Another hit from Castellanos. Good for him. That is his 3rd of the night.
He had 3 yesterday, too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. His average climbing now.
Yeah, I saw Nick today right after he finished batting practice, and I told him, nice game. He said, yes, it was, but let's have another one tonight. And he has done that.
Joe Nathan in the Detroit bullpen heating up. No longer a save opportunity.
He could use the work, though.
Here's Romine. It's been a good night for Romine as well. A walk, a single, and RBI. We've talked about how the Tigers need more productivity from 7 through 9. They have 4 hits and a walk from the bottom of the lineup tonight. 0-2. Brad Austin is through this slow and really excruciating stretch for the Tigers on offense and their pitching. Just been winning a lot of games. He has maintained a steady course. It really has been quite impressive. I mean, his first major league gig, but I think that's just his personality.
He played the game a long time. He knows there's going to be lots of ups and downs during the course of a regular season. And the worst thing that you can show is panic if you're the leader. And he's shown no panic.
Line drive caught. Quick throw to first, and they'll get a double play. Pedroia to Brock Holtz, and they double up Castellanos. However, the Tigers get some more offense here in the 8th. Homer by Martinez. Holiday triples and scores on a sac fly. It is 6-2. Last call now for the Boston Red Sox here in Game 1 of this series in front of a packed house here at Comerica Park. On a spectacular night, and Joe Nathan will take over.
And Joe Nathan pitching in his 24th game. The ERA is approaching 7. He has not pitched very well lately, but there's a lot of baseball to be played, and if the Tigers are going to get to where they want to get to, and that's the Fall Classic, they're going to need Nathan to pitch the way that he's pitched the last couple of years, wearing a Texas Rangers uniform.
Daniel Nava is pinch hitting for Johnny Gomes. Nava looks at a strike, and the count evens now 1-1. 6 runs, 13 hits for Detroit, 2 runs, 6 hits for the Red Sox. Tigers have hit 3 home runs tonight, all solo shots. Kinsler, Hunter, Martinez. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Nice pitch here by Nathan. And a real nice finish on that breaking ball.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Now that's a really good slider by Joe Nathan. In this area where he located this pitch to Nava, it's unhittable.
1 out now for Pierzynski. AJ is 0 for 3 in the game. A couple of ground balls and a pop-up. Strike 1. These two guys have some history. In fact, AJ Pierzynski was traded for Joe Nathan. Pierzynski going to San Francisco, Nathan coming to Minnesota. Nathan became a closer with the Twins. The check swing roller towards short. Romine guns him down, 2 away.
Nathan and Pierzynski were also teammates last year and with the Texas Rangers.
Boy, Joe would love a 1-2-3 ninth inning here. Got one more out to get. Crowd coming to its feet. Grady Sizemore stands in. Ball 1. 39,762 at the ballpark tonight. And they have enjoyed some great weather. They've enjoyed the Tigers' offense, putting up 6 runs on 13 hits. And some photo opportunities as well. 2-0. Tigers came in averaging 32,647 per home game. Two and 1. In the air to right field, going to drop, base hit. That'll keep it going for the Red Sox. It's a 2-out single for Grady Sizemore. His first hit of the night. It'll keep it going now for Jonathan Herrera. Two out of 3 double and a single for the Red Sox shortstop. And Herrera looks at ball 1. That base hit by Sizemore, the 7th hit of the night for Boston. Bouncing ball back to the mound. That's going to do it. Tigers win game 1.
Well played game here tonight by the Tigers, and they desperately needed to get back in that win column.
The win here tonight for the Tigers snaps a 5-game losing streak, and the Red Sox now have lost 4 in a row. Joe Nathan back on track, more importantly.
Well, just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, and it is brought to you by Miller Lite. Victor Martinez with a solo shot in his team's 8th inning. And to give them a little bit more margin for air, he got a fastball in a fastball count from Capuano and hit it over the Tigers' bullpen.
A 13-hit effort tonight for the Tigers, who hit 3 home runs in this contest. And they win game 1 in the series. A victory for Drew Smyly tonight. We'll be back